guys, welcome back to another episode of Cate Ty.
Another episode.
We are in New York City this week.
New York.
Yeah, actually it's super in and super out. Like we are here and then we're gone.
I'm not a bit. Listen, New York. I have a love-hate relationship with New York.
Yeah, I feel like the first time you come to New York City, like the very first time we ever did, we were 16. And I remember like driving downtown though, like over by like Times Square and stuff. And remember that first feeling you get when you see New York City for the first time?
It's like, whoa.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Especially like kids like us. We come from just like a little country town.
The biggest town we ever saw was Detroit.
Right. And I remember driving through New York and be like, this is unreal. This is crazy.
It was like surreal. I also remember I had to bring my sister because our parents could. Why couldn't our parents come?
They're probably working.
Yeah, something happened where my sister had to be our guardian or whatever it was for the day or for the time that we were there because we were still minors.
Yeah.
Which when you think about it, like, isn't it weird to think about? We were minors for 3 years of filming Teen Mom.
Yeah.
Like, dude, how did that even happen?
Well, they had to have people sign for us.
I know, but it's just weird to think about, like, wow. And then to think about what they filmed, like, think about it. 16 years ago, like, reality TV did look different.
Oh, yeah, it was super raw.
We just got past, like, the real world part, and we're kind of leaning into, like, then Jersey Shore happened, which obviously is party days, whatever.
Yeah.
And then our stuff, I feel like our show was similar to, like, True Life.
That's what it reminded me of, too.
Yeah, like, it was so raw, and I feel like the difference now with reality TV is just so different.
I feel like now reality TV is just, like, all, like, drama. Like, catty girls beating each other up, or, like... You know,
housewives,
right? Or couples living in houses, seeing if they cheat on one another, like drama.
Dude, that I told you that, didn't I?
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah,
bro,
that's sad.
I want to get some of those people on the podcast because I want to talk to you about what the hell are you doing
and what were you thinking
on
signing
Temptation
up for?
Island, dude? What's going on, and why would you torture yourself like that? It is the craziest show I've ever seen. I've always saw clips, but from the clips, I'm like, this is some toxic ass shit.
I feel like that's the type of show that would give me anxiety because I'm such an empath, you know.
Like, oh my god, his heart is broken. Someone hug him,
Jack. Oh my god, poor Jack.
No, but that show is really insane. And anyone listening who's watched Temptation Island, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've never even seen clips of it. But just what you described to me, I was like, that is horrible.
No, it's bad.
Like, it's probably a show that would make me cry. For the person being hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
And by the way, I'm sitting on this...
The lowest
couch I've ever been on in my life, guys. So, I mean, like, bro.
It's great for me, but not for you.
No, look at you. It's perfect for you. Look at your 90-degree bent leg.
Yeah, and you're tall.
If I put my leg on the ground, this is me.
It's
like what the...
Very inverted 90 degree.
This is the first time I've ever been in this space recording, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's... Well, actually, we're in New York. We're doing a couple different things. We're interviewing some more adoptees, which I'm really excited about. And we have a adoption competent therapist we're talking to.
Which that'll be super interesting.
Which that'll be really cool, which I'm excited about that. So, New York. But this will probably be the last trip to New York for us.
Probably. I feel like we could find some really nice places in Detroit.
Yeah, and I think we've gotten in the swing of things.
Well, and also, like, hello, we're parents, and I feel like, you know, it's hard for us to go away.
It is.
And so, like, this one, it's like we're recording today, tomorrow, and then tomorrow after recording, we're getting on a plane and flying home. So at least if we book something in Detroit, since we are parents, it'll be like we're going to work. We go to work for a few hours, and then we can drive home.
Because I think it's hard when you're trying to do this type of work, and you have to leave your state, like where there's practices and art class and just all this stuff that you have
doctor's appointments.
Yeah, like, and you can't. I don't know how people do it, but I guess other people have like nannies. They got baby daddies. They got grandmas and grandpas who are
willing to help
to do stuff, and so
thankfully your mom was willing to do this trip. But you know, seriously.
But that's why I'm like, you know what, for our schedules and stuff, and the fact that we don't have like a lot of extra help on hand it's better just to find a place in Detroit that makes sense. So,
yeah, that way we're only gone for a few hours, not a few days.
Yes, I can drive an hour home and it's fine. So,
but so I figured for this week, we do have a bunch of fan questions.
We have a lot of fan questions.
Yeah, we do. So I wanted to read some of these fan questions, and then also I got this game, like this card game for couples. And so like we will ask each other questions and then answer them. And I think it's funny because, you know, we've been together for almost 18 years, and we really do know the ins and outs of each other. But it's like sometimes like either I'll say something or you will, and you'd be like, I never knew that about you. And I'm like, oh my God, right.
What was the other day that you said something? And I was like, I never knew that about you. I can't remember what it was.
Right.
Now.
I know.
Dang
so it's
it.
funny how I don't remember what it was exactly.
Yeah.
But isn't that funny? You would think that like after this long. So like people that get married after 2 years, I don't know what y'all are thinking. But
you guys are crazy.
I wanted to, so I definitely wanted to read some of these fan questions because, I mean, we get fan questions for the show all the time.
Well, you also did that thing on Instagram where you ask anonymous.
I do, yep, and I always keep an anonymous.
Which that's really interesting, I feel like.
Well, yeah, so that way people feel like they can ask us questions, you know?
I like to bring them involved. I like to make you guys involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I like the listeners to be involved. It makes it more exciting.
And believe me, we're not like therapists or anything. You know what I mean? But I feel
and we're the last people probably take advice from, but but hey.
But sometimes I feel like we have good advice.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Y'all keep coming to us.
Yeah, so,
and I guess we're going to answer a few of them. All right, this first one says, hello, my question is about relationships. What do you do to keep the sexual relationship strong? It's hard when you have children. It can also get old and hitting when you've been together forever. I've been married for 23 years. My daughter is now grown, and I would like to reconnect with my husband. I feel like, I know, that's cute.
Here, I will say one thing. I think the one positive thing about this is that she's not like chalking it up to it's over. We don't love each other no more. The spark is gone. It's all like you're actively trying. Like you're literally seeking it out. Like, okay, how can I want? Like for her to say, I had the desire to reconnect. That's the main thing. That's what you need. Because I feel like people try to force things. If you don't have the desire to work on something, or you know what I mean, then it's like, all right.
And also, I can relate to like being sexually intimate with with your husband when you do have children is hard.
It is. It's
hard. I mean, when you're running, you're running all day, or you know,
even just them being there, like
like you can't be too loud. You can't be too loud, you know, or things like that. Like it does make it difficult. And also, kids are exhausting. There's some nights, even us, when we go to bed, and we'd kind of have this thing where it's like around dinner time or something. All we have to like literally say, either one of us has to say like, "I'm just super tired today." And we know, okay.
It's weird. I think every couple can kind of create their own little, like they can create their own thing. And my suggestion, and this is just from our experience, like our lived experience, but you can create any kind of code word. I don't care if it's an emoji. I don't care if it's a sigh and like I just can't wait to go to bed tonight. Like it could be any little slight thing.
Yeah, it could even be something as like, I'm going to bed early tonight. I have a lot to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know, or whatever.
Or just something as simple as I just want to go to bed right away. Like I don't even want to watch TV. I know.
Like ours is literally around dinner time when we're all getting the kids' plates ready and everything. And one of us just has to say like, "Hey, I'm just really tired tonight," and then the other one knows. Like, okay,
me too. Yep, got it.
Right.
You know, or like honestly, I guess for us it's not exactly the same thing, but you just get the vibe. I don't know. You're like, oh, I can't wait for bed tonight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like anything,
right. And then it's like, oh, all right, clock.
All right, yeah. But I think it creates it creates a communication that doesn't have to be said with long explanations or words or defense or
negative.
It doesn't have to be negative. It's like, oh, you're tired. Cool, sweet.
I'm tired too.
And I think we do it that way because I think it's more receptive and if you're not, unless it's different if you're laying in bed, make a move, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm really tired." Then it's like, "Oh,
yeah." Then you feel that. I feel like then the other person has a tendency to feel like kind of rejected a little bit.
Which then what happens is that then that makes it personal, and it's not personal.
No,
you know what I mean?
Right? No, I'm just fucking tired.
I'm just fucking tired. Like,
I would love to have make love to you, but I'm just fucking tired tonight. You know.
So I think it creates a safety net for people who like you don't got to explain yourself. You don't got to get defensive. You don't got to feel rejected. Do it before the nighttime routine. I don't care if that's whatever it is. Whenever you guys are just sitting there, like, oh, I just can't wait for bed tonight. Figure it out.
But I
or
feel
send
like,
an emoji, send a text message. I don't care.
But I feel like as far as like reconnecting, like, you know, she's saying how she wants to reconnect. I think like it does, for me personally, my advice would be like, it doesn't even have to be sexually intimate. I feel like intimacy also starts out of the bedroom. So like go on dates with one another, cuddle, do some PDA when you're around at the house, like just come up and hug him and honestly, I think the most important thing is to still date one another no matter how long you guys have been together. Do something special, go on a special date, go to a really nice dinner, go walk on the beach with each other and hold his hand. Like little things like that. I feel like lead to sexual intimacy, like showing love and affection.
Or at least leads to the desire for it, because I feel like I've just heard so many stories about like, you know, girls just saying like, you can't just jump in, like you need to like warm me up. Like hug me throughout the day. If you don't show any intimacy throughout the day, that's not leading to sex, then of course when you go for it, they're going to be like, fuck no. You haven't touched me all day. You haven't even said, you know what I mean? Like, so it feels almost like, and honestly, it's not healthy, I don't think, really, because I don't think anyone should be felt like they're being used in some way or
not
like,
desired or
not
wanted or, you know, that's
in a real way, not a selfish way. Like, you know, you want to connect with me.
That's what I mean, like even doing different forms of intimacy.
Yeah,
it's
important.
Showing that you're loved and giving affection in different ways too leads up to the deed. You know what I mean? And also, like, girl, your kids are out of the house.
Dude, I know.
You can be as loud and as crazy as you want to be.
That's
you know
what I'm saying. Why? Like,
and it's Tyler and I say it all the time. Like from different people that we've talked to, or people in marriages, or you know, friends that are in relationships and stuff. Like we have a very healthy sexual.
It's.
Life.
Yeah. Compared
to like when you hear stories of people.
Know that, though,
no, but like when you hear stories saying like, oh, I get it maybe once a week or once a month, and me and Tara are like,
oh, dude,
are we nippos or what? Sorry, TMI. You know what I mean? But also,
but no, it is shocking to hear. I'm like, whoa, and then some people are like, oh, we schedule it, and it's once every 2 weeks or something. I'm just like in my head, I'm just like,
yeah, why schedule it?
For one, I mean,
I understand.
I get scheduling. Yeah, okay. I get why, though. I get why you need to schedule it. Yeah. But I also get why scheduling it also feels doomed or feels not as exciting or feels whatever.
Or like it's a job.
Because honestly, that goes back to our thing that we have. What if we scheduled it and that day you just end up being tired? Right. And now I don't. Or
I started my period.
Yeah. Now I don't feel like I had the freedom to say, oh, I'm so tired tonight. Wink, wink. Right? You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, I scheduled it. Oh, I can't. Man, it puts a weird like
pressure
duty, and I'm not here to. I want to connect with you in a real way, not as a duty or
not like a
service.
As a job.
Yeah, like that's.
And so for us, I think just if some people scheduling works out really great for them because of kids and works and jobs and stuff. But I think for our relationship, it's more or less like let it come naturally, and it happens.
Yeah,
you know?
A lot. Compared to other. I mean, I was shocked when I hear other people, even people our age. I'm like, what?
Yeah. This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. With work comes a lot of stress, and sometimes it's high stress. I mean, let's face it, being in the workplace is just stressful. But this summer, you can take time to focus on your wellness with small steps to manage your workday challenges. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health, within 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress. I mean, you guys know that Tyler and I are huge advocates for mental health and going to therapy. I mean, I honestly feel like therapy is always good for anybody at any time, even when you're feeling the best. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it's convenient. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/breakitdown. That's BetterHelp.com/breakitdown. Thanks, BetterHelp.
You guys, your one kid goes to their other parents for a weekend. Like, you have a house to yourself. I don't know. So, but honestly, I don't think we even realize it. We have a good relationship, and that's the way it is. And then
I was going to say, and we also we are very affectionate, throughout the day. We hug, we kiss, we cuddle.
All the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point, like, where me and Ty will be hugging in the kitchen, and then here comes all our little ducks. They see us loving, and they're like, I want to love too.
I know.
And they all come. Even our dog.
Yeah.
Remy. You know what I mean? Like, it's so normal around our house. Like, obviously, we don't get gross. But it's like cuddles, and like I'll hug him and like kiss him, or just like hold him and lay my head on his chest. And then here comes Raya. Here comes Veda. Here comes Noah. Here comes Remy.
Here comes the dog.
And they're all in a big circle hugging around me and Ty, who started hugging.
It's almost like they sense it. And they're like, oh, I want to get in on that,
Yeah, and then I remember the one time when Nova's good friend, her and Nova are only 2 years apart. Or 2 months apart, sorry. So, like, they've grown up with each other. And the one time Nova's friend was at our house, and me and Ty were, like, hugging in the kitchen, and I pecked him on his lip. And I'll never forget her friend saying, ew, that's gross. And Nova straight up looked at her and she goes, that's not gross. They just love each other.
I was like, yes.
And I was like, see? Like, our daughters are seeing that, like, it's okay to be loving and affectionate to one another. Like,
I'm all about PDA. Don't get inappropriate, but I'm saying PDA. Show these kids that this is not something to be ashamed of.
Right.
It's not something that should be like secret or private or whatever. Like it's okay to hug and kiss and cuddle in front of your kids.
Right.
Like,
and because when they're older, if they get in relationships, I want them to know, like, oh, it's okay if I just randomly walk up to my husband and give him a hug in front of kids, or peck him on his lips.
But there are people who are like, they do not believe in PDA. Like, you will not see them do anything more than a peck in public. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. And in public, we're different. It's more or less hold hands. I'll grab you from, you grab me from the side. I grab you from the side. I might peck. That's about it.
But I don't know. I just feel like some people, I said, bring on a PDA. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Go for it. I think it shows. Because I guess I just don't want any shame being attached to anything, because
it should not be.
But I feel like in certain, like, cultures and societies and whatever you want to call it, like, it does. And it's like, dude, I just feel like if we start to attach shame to that development, like as a kid, as it's developing, it just creates a whole
other problem or issues.
Yeah, because how do your first experience is attached to shame? Yeah, so now every experience after that's going to be like this thing.
Shameful.
How do you ever break free from the shame and be able to be liberated in that space? You can't, because you're always constantly, my mom said, my grandma said, or I don't know, I should be doing this. And like, even talking to my mom and stuff, like, it's just sad. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the older generation just got like screwed in a way, because there's barely any sex ed when they were growing up.
Yeah.
Which
their parents didn't talk to them.
Their parents didn't talk about it, which I think is super important to bring up, because they raise us.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, so we were impacted by their impact, which was minimal.
Right.
Not even taught, really. So like, my mom even said that she, like, when my dad said either you give it up to me or I'm leaving you, or I'm a guy, I have needs. She said I have needs. Like, she felt, oh my God. And she said,
felt like she was forced to.
Yes. And she said, oh my God, I do love him. I have to do this for him. And see, so you, and I was like, Mom, that probably shaped your whole life. I hope you know that. Yeah. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, it literally, you started out with thinking that your first experience had to be a service to someone else. Yeah. So from that moment on, you're like, how do you, like...
That's why you never really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's because you felt like it was a damn duty or a service. And I hate that shit, because I feel like people use that excuse of like, oh, well, a guy is a guy and they have needs. What are you talking about? A girl don't have needs either?
Right.
And I
absolutely do.
And I also feel like they get it so fucked up, because it's like, you really believe that guys think about it more than girls do?
Right.
No, guys are just more able to say it out loud because society accepts it. Goes, oh, yeah, bro. And the girl says it, they're like, slut. You know what I mean? True. So it's like, dude, I don't want to hear that shit. Developing girls just like developing. Like, they all have the...
I mean, there's plenty of times in my mind where I'm like, damn, Zaddy, I want to eat you up, The next question I have is, I'm currently 12 weeks pregnant and share a 4-year-old with my partner. Okay. We've been together for 7 years.
Okay.
I found out this week that he's been going to massage parlors and receiving happy endings, spending our family's money on this. He's been around 6 to 7 times in the last 6 months, and that's including when I've been pregnant. I've also found out he's been messaging escorts. He works away a lot. As recently as just last week, he says he's never gone through with it, as that's a step too far. Obviously, I love him. Okay. So he's been messaging escorts, but hasn't supposedly met with one, because that's a step too far.
But a happy ending is not? massage?
Obviously, I love him, but I don't know what to do for our family's sake at this point. He is a great dad and usually a great partner, and we get along so well. I just feel so disgusted by him at the minute. Help. Okay, from a woman.
Wow. I don't even, like, that's...
From a woman's perspective, okay, if I ever found out that you were going to massages, happy ending massages...
Done.
And messaging escorts, even if you didn't meet up with an escort, I would leave.
Absolutely.
Because
not a question.
That is completely a form of cheating. Whether you're touching the girl or not, she is still touching you and doing stuff and giving you pleasure that I feel I should only be able to give you. And I know you're pregnant and you have kids and you say that he's a great dad. So why wouldn't he be a great dad even if you guys were separated? I feel like you need to take care of yourself. And for me, if I were to stay in a situation like that, I feel like my mental like health would be at major risk, because anytime he leaves or anytime he went somewhere, I would think he's cheating on me, and I would not be able to live like that. And I honestly think that you need to leave him and show him, like, you know, sometimes people don't realize what they got till it's gone, and you sound like a great mom. I would leave. Absolutely.
I mean, listen, you sound like I think you've overstayed.
Yes.
Like I have so many questions now, because, like, okay, so you find out that this is happening. I don't care. Escort, massage parlor, prostitute, whatever I don't care what happened.
Yeah.
You are seeking something outside of your marriage, outside of your commitment with this person. I don't care. I don't care if you haven't even touched anybody. Messaging, sexting, anything. You're operating outside of our thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing as cheating.
It is. I think people are like, oh, well, it is. I don't care if people say it. They can say, oh, it's not that cheating. I was just flirting. You're flirting, talking outside of your marriage. Like, dude, bro, that's it. You might as well just go screw the other person, because at this point, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And, like, if I found out you were messaging someone else and nothing ever happened, maybe you never even met each other, but you were having that conversation, that flirting, it, like, bro,
you're still emotionally cheating.
You are.
And I believe that's the same. You can be emotionally cheating or sexually and intimately cheating. Like, if you're spilling all your thoughts and feelings and emotions to somebody, that's fucking cheating.
Yeah. Especially, well, I mean, you can talk to people, but not in a flirty way, not in a...
Right. That's what I mean, though, in those sorts of ways. And then also for him to say that he's been messaging escorts but hasn't met up one, I would be like, I don't believe you. You've already been going to happy ending parlors. I do not believe you.
Okay, here's the thing. What the hell is the difference between going to a happy ending massage parlor or an escort? Right. Bro, your massage therapist, I hate to break it to you, is a fucking escort.
Right.
Because I don't care what act you're doing, you're paying her for a service that ends in this result.
And what's crazy is, like, 9 out of 10 times, those women in those massage parlors are being sexually trafficked. Yeah,
which is even, dude.
And then you are giving to that also.
Did she say she has a kid, right?
Yes, they have a child and she's pregnant.
Oh my God, this poor woman. All right, you just got to leave, and that's going to be hard. And I hate that. My opinion is there's no coming back from this. Yeah. I don't know what the ages are, but he's got an issue.
I think she said how old he was. A 4-year-old.
No, the guy. I don't know.
The guy. I thought you meant the kids.
No, I don't know how old they are. Like,
right.
Because I there's a uprise in, like, addiction to porn and stuff from not our generation, but, like, your little brothers.
Oh,
like they're like the 20-year-olds, like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's because they've had access to it since they even started, like anything. So, like, that sounds like he's got an issue to me.
Yeah, I would say she needs to, get a big support system, like her family or friends, or she needs to get a tribe. And I would leave. There's no way I'd be able to sleep next to him at night.
No,
and like you said, he's a good dad, so let him be a good dad away from you.
And I have to. I'm a dad, so I don't think he's that great of a dad as you're saying he is. I get you're saying he's a good dad maybe to your children, but a good dad is not seeking things outside of the relationship with that child's mother, breaking that bond, breaking the family up, going to a massage. Bro, just,
that's a good point. That's a good
point.
I'm
sorry. Like, I understand that, like, I don't know. I just feel like any guy who's willing to, like, sacrifice his whole family unit for a fucking happy ending massage. Are you fucking kidding me?
For a blowjob or a wackadoodle? You know, like what?
Wackadoodle the noodle.
Right. Come home. I will choke your chicken. You know?
No, for real though. Like,
yeah.
So I'm sorry. I disagree that the fact that he's a great dad. I don't think he's that great of a dad because a great dad would not do that.
Wouldn't be breaking up the family.
A good dad would come to her and say, I'm not happy with this. I wish we had more of that. Whatever his main issue is.
Yeah.
And like I said, maybe his main issue is being addicted or being like...
He could be a sex addict.
Yeah, like a sex... This is a real... I think people don't... This is a real thing. Like,
and it's a super hard addiction.
Yeah, because it's available everywhere. Yeah. It's available in your hand.
It's always
on your
in
phone.
Your face.
It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And the more comfortable and liberated society gets with it, it's almost like the more liberated we get, hallelujah, great. We all should have sexual freedom. But at the same time, with that new freedom, we should have more regulations. Mm-hmm. Like you should not be able to log in to porn sites without having verification of something.
Age or something.
I don't care what it is.
You got to take a picture of your license or something.
Something. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So, like, I don't know if the issue is, like, he's got an addiction problem, which that could be worked on. But I still think if for that to be worked on, you got to leave.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair for you to be a pregnant woman sitting there dealing with that bullshit on top of being a mom, on top of dealing with his own personal issue. Because at this point... And him being unfaithful. Yeah, at this point, it's his issue. Yeah. This is not your issue.
Right.
And you don't deserve it. So get the hell out. Take a break.
Yeah.
Do something. Honestly.
And maybe even just separate for a while and say, you need to get there. You need to go to therapy and work on yourself.
Yeah.
And be separated for a long time and try that. Maybe even counseling too.
And also,
for a while.
Yeah. And also, my opinion is if he's a good dad, he will leave.
Yeah.
You should not have to leave with your kids.
Yeah.
Move their bedrooms. Move their...
Absolutely.
Any of that shit.
No.
Because, dude, my mom told me that when her and my dad broke up after my sister was born, he kicked my mom out. And she asked him for the trailer they were living in. Mm-hmm. She's like, can I please have the trailer? Can you go stay with whoever your idiot friends are or whatever the case is until we figure this out? And he said no. And I'm like, dude, that is so fucked.
Red flag.
Bro, any guy who is not willing, I actually don't care if the mom did something wrong.
You're kicking your child out of their home.
You are the guy. You're one guy. You're one dude. And even if she's in the wrong, you leave the house.
Yeah.
Let the children have their bedroom. Yeah. Let them have that space where they know their mom's. Like, and people, I know it's probably controversial because like, oh, if the bitch cheated, she needs to leave. No. You don't understand. She's not just a bitch. She's the mom.
Right.
So you need to separate your... feelings about her and recognize that and leave the house.
Well, and then plus too, it's, you want your children to have a sense of normalcy throughout the whole thing, Yeah,
like I can't imagine the guys who make women leave and uproot their children. That's weird to me. You're gonna make your kid leave their bedroom because you and her got an issue. I know
some guys like that.
Like, it's like, dude, what the?
It's gross.
It's disgusting. Like, no, I think every guy who's a real dad leaves.
I feel really bad for her, and I hope that she definitely separates. Have you ever woken up with a funky symptom like a puffy eye or a funky looking rash and immediately Googled it or searched it on TikTok to see what's wrong? We've all gone down that rabbit hole and it's never good. But it's time to get the help and care you really need with ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and are highly rated by verified patients. Once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings. Choose a time slot that works for you and click to instantly book a visit. I definitely now know what I'm going to use the next time I'm feeling icky or down or one of the kids are feeling sick, because are you kidding me? So easy. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Cate Ty to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Cate Ty. ZocDoc.com/Cate Ty.
Also, call on these massage parlors. Get the place shut down.
Yeah, because I'm telling you,
your husband is contributing to sex trafficking.
Yeah.
And you need to shut that shit down.
Because there was a couple in Michigan. My hairdresser, literally next door, was the same thing. It was like a happy ending parlor. Like, and a few of them got busted and shut down. And guess what? They were being sex trafficked.
See?
They lived in the apartments across the street, couldn't drive, couldn't do anything. All they would do was walk across the street and go work.
Wow.
Yeah, and a couple of them got busted and shut down, and it was proven that they were being sex trafficked and like held against their will. So
I hate to say this, on top of all the pressure you have, lady, whoever this is, you also have a mandated reporter responsibility.
Absolutely.
That if you
know which ones he went to, I'd be calling the police and telling them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they'll set up a sting, they'll figure it out, but you need to tell someone.
Yeah.
Because that shit's...
Yeah, it's sad.
God damn, pregnant? What the fuck is wrong with people? It just blows my mind, dude. Like, damn.
Gosh, some of these poor women. I tell you what.
Is that all you're getting? What is the next one?
I have a 2-year-old and I'm 8 months pregnant. And my husband has told me several times he wouldn't be with me if it weren't for our daughter and this pregnancy. Because I'm a bitch and an asshole. I've given up my entire life and dreams to be his wife and a stay-at-home mom, and I have nothing of my own. Shit. My only break is when I'm doing laundry or taking a shower. And in 2 years, I have only been away from my daughter 2 times for an hour and a half both times. While he works with celebrities and goes to events multiple times a month here in Vegas. I don't want him miserable hating me, but I'm also 1 month away from giving birth, and I don't know what I should do. My soul is broken. I don't know if he's hated me like this since before I was ever pregnant, or if the back-to-back pregnancies made me a bitch and made him hate me. I've completely given up on myself and do everything for him and my daughter and unborn child.
All right, this is where I feel like there's a balance between self-betraying and like and kind of self-maintenance, because you're what I'm hearing is you're literally just betraying yourself over and over and over again for the sake of...
First of all, did you see what she said multiple times? He calls her a bitch out of her name. Calls her out of her name.
Bro, that's number one. Number one. Unhealthy. And I think people like will say, "Oh, you're too sensitive," or "Oh, that's stupid." No, I'm not kidding. Like I know when I'm joking and say, "Oh, don't be a little bitch," or "Oh, don't be bitchy." Like, it's different. You're calling your other person, significant other, spouse, whatever, out of their name. It ruins. It just destroys all
the foundation.
Yes,
you know?
it just destroys it. Why would I ever? It's like, would you ever call your mom out of her name and call her a fucking bitch? Would you call your grandma? In private. Like, would you ever call your grandma a stupid bitch? Like, I don't care what it is. You don't. Okay, well then your spouse. Like, you don't ever. Why would you want to call them out of their name? It just blows my mind.
And if he's, and it's so sad because like women that stop everything, stop working everything to be a stay-at-home mom and to raise kids. And now you're saying that you don't love me and you hate me and that you're only with me because of the kids. Unfortunately, then they're left like they have nothing. They have no money. They have no form of showing proof of income. So you have to feel very, very stuck. I mean,
bullshit.
And so the only thing that I can think of is if you have any family, reach out to family. Also, I would go to the state. I would reach out to the state, try to help with getting funds or finding places to live.
But I think she'd have to leave first. State ain't gonna help her unless you leave.
So then she would have to lean on family and friends because literally these women have nothing.
Dude, and that's what's crazy because I think people get it twisted where it's like I see some of these, like even some people on TikTok, like the creators, where they're like, oh wow, must be nice you're a stay-at-home mom, and they show themselves working, like, oh, and they're like, I have no problem. My man comes home to a cooked meal and a clean house and all this other shit. That's great if it works.
Yeah.
However, in this instance, this is proof that a woman could do everything, quote unquote, right and the right way to do it. And if he gets a little fucking stick up his ass, now your whole sacrifice is gone.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye, because this guy had whatever he had, something happened. But that's not fair. And so I feel like, I don't know, in this
or
day
who
and
knows,
age,
when he's calling her a bitch,
are you?
Maybe she's got an attitude. Why? Maybe because Billy was throwing a fit all damn day. She couldn't get anything, or who knows?
Yeah.
He was, like, raising kids is stressful. And when you're doing it 365, every single day of your life, it's emotionally draining. physically draining. Like sometimes it's just exhausting, and it sounds like to me that she doesn't ever get a break. She mentioned the 2 times that she did, and
which that's resentment. I feel like she's bitter there and she should be.
Yeah, and so of course you're going to be overwhelmed as hell. And as parents, we need to have a break every now and then, just to like, we need to have a break why am I stumbling on my words? Every now and then, as parents, we need to have a break so that way we can just
reset our mind.
Yes.
Here's my thing, though. I want to make it very clear. A shower is not a fucking break. Okay,
yeah, that's fucked up.
Reading a book in the bath is not a break.
Yeah. Folding laundry.
I just going to do laundry
it's not a break.
Is not a break. I think especially for stay-at-home moms, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Personal hygiene is not a break from being a mom. It's a fucking necessity. You gotta take a shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You gotta brush your teeth. Yeah. These are things that are not considered. And when people say, I get, the only breaks I get is when I have to shower. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's not a break.
That's not a break.
And any mom out there knows.
And if this guy's telling you that's a break, it's considered a break, he's a fucking asshole, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And any moms out there that have their kids 365, 24/7 know that even if you're just trying to take a bath, those crotch goblins are banging at the door, wanting to get in the bathtub with you too. So,
or even when you're going to the bathroom, like they're like, "What are you doing in there?" Like,
yeah, I'm like, I'm just trying to pee.
Yeah. Like I think, and that right there goes to show, like, I hate that thought process that she somewhere in her life, someone made her believe that taking a shower is a break.
It's sad,
and that is just.
It was probably him.
I have a feeling it was.
I think she needs to separate, because if you were telling me...
I feel bad we're telling all these people to separate, but dude, you're in these situations. And also, going to Vegas, celebrities, so that right there is like, what's going on? You clearly have enough money.
They must live in Vegas, probably.
All right, got it, but there's enough money to maybe
then hopefully you've been married long enough so you can divorce his ass and take half of it all. Because if my husband was looking at me saying, you're a bitch and I wouldn't be with you if it wasn't for the kids, I'd be like, I'm fucking gone.
Then what am I here?
Yeah, gone.
Here's my thing, too, is you think...
That's so degrading.
You think that someone staying with you for the sake of the kids is a win? Not a win. It's you lost already. And I think people get it so twisted. I'm going to stay with them for the kids. You ain't doing shit for your kids, but showing them how to not operate in a healthy way in a relationship. That's all you're doing. Right. You think it's not good.
Yeah, no,
it's not good because the kids may not. Even if you don't argue in front of the kids, they can still sense the tension and energy. They pick it up way better than adults. So you're thinking process of like, oh, we'll stay together for the kids, even though I hate this woman or I hate this guy, but I'll stay with the kids. You're already lost. Yeah. Stop. Yeah. Because you're not doing your kids any favors.
And I know how you just said too, like, oh my God, I feel bad. We're telling everybody to leave. Well, the one guy is getting happy ending massages and
this guy's calling you a bitch
and saying that he doesn't. If it wasn't for the kids, yeah. So those are both reasons why you should leave.
When he says, "I wouldn't be you if it wasn't for the kids," that pretty much, there's no other message to take away from that than you don't want to be with me.
Yeah, it's sad.
Like, what? Okay, well, I'm going to make it super fucking easy for you, and I'm out.
Right.
You know, like, dude.
But that's the thing, though, is, like, it's super hard when, you don't work, you haven't worked, and you have none of your own money or any of those things. Like, I really, really hope that you have some family that you can lean on.
And here's my kind of thing. I feel like in society, I see a lot of men manipulating women in a way to make them think it's honorable. Stay at home mom. I'll work. Don't work. I'll take care of you if you do X, Y, Z and take care of me.
See, and as long as you have like a really good, down to earth man who really believes that, awesome.
Yeah, and his intentions
But then you have some of those narcissistic guys, like this guy, it sounds like, where it's like if you're not doing things right, or he comes home and you have a little bit of an attitude because you've been overwhelmed with everything.
And he thinks a break is a shower.
Right. That's wrong.
It is. And my thing about it is that you're like, it's not, I just don't, I see it happen where it's like, and then the girl goes, oh, I feel pride and honor. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have to make money.
Yeah.
I take pride in making a hot meal all those things. But when it comes down to it, why do you feel so much pride in it? Because he's telling you should feel pride for it. He's telling you that it's what you know what I mean? Like, so it's like in a way of like what a bullshit trap.
Yeah.
In a way, like for a guy to, and I'm talking about real genuine guys who, like you said, but like the ones who, like, a real genuine guy is not going to call you a bitch.
No.
Not going to think that taking a shower is a break from being a mom. Yeah. Like those certain things. Ridiculous. Like, and so it's sad to see women almost fall for this trap of like, because I'm edified. Even in society, like I was talking earlier about the TikTok moms who are like, my man making my man a lunch, or she wakes up earlier to make him
to make him lunch for work.
And I'm saying that's cool. If that feels good for you, great. But for anyone else out there who is not feeling that real love and feeling like you're some kind of servant, 'cause that's what it reminds me of. And I swear to God, I that is the last thing that I think normal guys don't want. I don't think normal guys want a servant, an extra mom, to baby them. I don't think men want women to do that for them.
There's some out there.
I think you're fucked up.
Yeah.
I think you're.
But there
I
is
think
some
you're a
out
bitch.
there.
I think you're a little bitch.
Yeah.
Because
you know what's funny is like I've seen the ones kind of what you're talking about where she's like, my husband gets up at 6, so I get up at 4.
Yeah.
And I make his coffee.
Yes.
And I make his lunch. And I'm like, fuck no. Make your own fucking coffee, bro. I'm not. You know, like it'd be different. I don't know. It's different. Like you said, like obviously, if you had to work, you know, like had to get up early, I would totally make lunch for you, and I wouldn't mind doing that. But I'm not getting up at 4 to make you fucking coffee,
babe. Here's the thing, though, but see, as a guy who genuinely loves you, I would never expect you or shame you into.
Oh, I know.
Thinking you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't care if I do gotta get up at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. I would never, ever in my life would I ever expect my wife to get up an hour earlier than I have to just to make me coffee or make me a lunch. Like, if anything, I love you so much. Please sleep. I'll go make the money. If you don't have to get up at 4 in the morning, please don't.
I'll make you dinner when you get home.
Yeah, because you're with the kids and I'm out.
Yes.
So, like, I think any normal dude, I actually would. If that happened and like you got up earlier and made me, so I'd be like, thank you so much. Don't ever do this again. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate you so much, but don't ever do this again, because now I feel guilty. I would feel guilty. And I know some guys don't feel guilty, and I get it, but I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like this old, like, archaic family dynamic unit thing where stay-at-home moms cook and clean and everything, and I just feel like
it's old school.
Something about it just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why. And maybe it's because I was raised by a single mom, so seeing her, I couldn't imagine. My mom never served any guy that she dated.
Well, yeah, and I think so, I do think like some women out there, it does bring them joy to do those things, and if that's something that does bring you joy to cook and clean for your family and your husband, absolutely do it. Whatever brings you joy. If it's building resentments, fucking stop.
Which clearly with this girl, I think she is building resentments because she's doing
all the things and he's calling her a bitch.
Yeah, she's mentioning twice too that she only's been away from her kid twice in 4 years.
For an hour and a half.
Yeah, for an hour and a half, which I don't know what that means, but I think at that point, especially with stay-at-home moms, I think you demand, I get 2 days a week to do something. Nails done.
Right, something.
Fucking coffee with my girlfriend and whatever.
To spend the night at my girlfriend's house.
Yeah, going to bar night. I really think 2 nights is good. And I think those 2 nights are the nights that the guy has to stay with the kids.
Absolutely.
That's like, you know what I'm saying? When you get your hair done, you're gone for all day.
Yeah.
I got the kid. You know, your birthday, setting up your nail appointment, that was important for me because I wanted to guarantee that you had that happening. You know what I'm saying? Because you'd go so long without having them done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, this isn't fair. So there's certain things where it's like, I don't know. I just feel like, why would you want your woman to be such a slave at home? Like, does that make you feel? It wouldn't make me feel good at all. I would not. Well,
thank God you're a good guy and you have a good heart, because there's, you know what I mean.
Honestly, to me, I think it's like unattractive.
Yeah,
in a way.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's like countercultural, but like I think. Like oh my God, or one of the things she listed, she was making one of those sourdough moms. She's making bread, and like, you know how the TikTok videos will have they'll write stuff as they're just like making bread. Well, she writes and she says that she makes her say home or pack lunch in the morning for my husband, and then it goes hot meal when he comes home from work, dinner served to him, first plate.
Oh, I serve my kids.
Mind blown. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, and maybe everyone can disagree. I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not getting my plate, or I wouldn't expect my plate to be done for me before my kids.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is on?
That's the first thing I do.
Yeah.
Is I get my kids plate.
Me and you're chop, little pieces, and then there's 2 plates, and then when they're sit down,
then we get ours.
And I feel like I don't know why that seems so weird to me. Where it's like he always gets the hot plate or the first hot served plate, and then
get it your goddamn self.
So in my head, I'm like, wait, so you're actually preparing multiple plates because you got to cut you got to make your husband's plate first
that's true.
before the kids?
Yeah. No.
How about we have multiple kids, 2 adults, you work on one kid's plate, I'll work on the other kid's plate, and then after they're sitting at the table, we get our plate.
Yes.
And then boom. And I think as a parent, I'm like, I would never expect me to eat first before my kids.
That's weird.
And I don't know if that's
break.
rare or not.
Break. I just found out your niece has hand, foot, and mouth. So our kids were supposed to go over there today, and I'm about to tell...
Absolutely not. Stay away from me. What the...
Okay, my kids cannot come to your house then. It is highly contagious.
Oh my God, bro.
Veda had it 3 years ago, and she had sores in her mouth and in her throat.
Hell no. Stay away. Stay far away. Don't come over.
Hopefully that's not what you have on you.
No, these are itchy bites, like mosquito bites from working in the yard. We're texting.
We can talk about this later, but Lexus just texted me and said she has hand, foot, and mouth disease.
No.
The kids cannot go to her house. It is highly contagious and super painful.
See? We're trying to come work and we got...
I know. Seriously, that's why I'm like, how do people go away? All of a sudden your niece is like, I have hand, foot, and mouth. My kids are supposed to go there today. I'm like, the fuck you are.
No. Well, deal with that crisis.
Please do not take my kids over there. No, it was horrible. They'd had it 3 years.
Listen,
you weren't even home. You were gone somewhere.
And I didn't know. I didn't know that it got like that. I thought it was just I thought it was just little a rash or something. I didn't know.
No,
actually,
she had them in her mouth and in her throat. She couldn't even drink water. She would drink water and scream in pain. It was the worst. And then
where was I? In California at my grandma's.
I don't know where you were. I don't remember, but yeah, it was the worst, absolute worst thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And then Raya got it, but not as severely as Veda had it. She just got bumps on her hands. But then I remember 3 weeks after we were all over the hand, foot, and mouth thing, all of the tops of Veda's nails started peeling off. And I remember I freaked out. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And that's a symptom.
Yeah, and I Googled it and it said one of it's a rare symptom of it, but it can happen. It's all the tops and layers of her nails were peeling off.
Yeah, I do
So
know.
do not take my kids to her house. Do not. Oh my God. I will freak out.
That would suck to come home to.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Kids, this is why I'm like, how do people go places? I need to tell my mother-in-law, do not take my kids anywhere.
I know. I need to connect with Kale and get her nanny's number or something.
Seriously,
I don't know
right?
how she does this shit.
God. Well, I thought that we were going to be able to get to the card game today of answering questions, but I feel like we have taken so much time on just
the
answering.
Questions?
Yeah, for me and you.
I
but
know.
Maybe we can do this. We're here for a couple days, so maybe we can do that on our next solo after we film with these adoptees.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah,
such.
true.
Because I'm excited about this. I feel like it's a good.
We never
way
really
to,
did it before.
No, and I feel like it's a good way to open up conversation and ask just different questions that a lot of people in relationships don't think to ask. So I'm excited to do it, and
we've never seen these before. So this is all these questions and
it's different levels of questions.
What does that mean? What do you mean different levels?
So there's level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is perception. Level 2 is, if I can get it out of here without reading them, connection. And then level 3 is reflection.
So perception, connection, reflection.
And it's called We're Not Really Strangers Couple Edition. So I think it'll be interesting. And I think we just randomly pull them.
All right.
And I feel like it could bring up different conversations and we can talk about each of the questions. You know what I mean?
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, actually.
I know.
Like I said, even after being 18 years together, there's still some times where one of us will say something and I'll be like, I never knew that.
I wish I could remember what it was.
Right?
God, it was just a couple of days ago. I was
know.
Babe, I never knew that. What?
That is true. What was that?
What was it? Something growing up or something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Something that you experienced or something like that. And I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
but it's funny. 18 years and we're still finding out. But also, I'm sorry, for every question that we answered today about some of these ladies, please, please, please get a support system. Please seek some therapy just for yourself.
Yeah.
And definitely lean on family and friends and get away from these fucking misogynistic assholes. I'm sorry, but they all sound disgusting.
And also, I would also like go back in time and ask yourself if you saw any red flags. Did you hear any red flags? Did anything stick out to you? Because I'm telling you, I see such a high pattern, even with our friends and stuff, where there was a red flag a year ago and you ignored it. Something where either your lust was so powerful it was making you blind. I don't know. But there are always like red flags. And I think some red flags are less, less severe than others, but just still clock them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, try to go back in time.
Because I will say, I think there's a lot of things that even when we were young, but we were so young. Mm-hmm. I think people, like, we were so young that we were still growing up and learning things. So I think we made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, of course.
And I think we both had a lot of probably red flags. We would consider red flags back then.
Naturally, we were kids.
Yeah. But I think at our age, if you're dating, over the age of 25 or even mid 20s, like, come on, man, we're all old. If the red flags are still there, you know what I mean?
Then
like
something's going on. Something's going on.
Just pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Don't ignore it because.
So if anybody is out there that wrote these questions to us, please reach out on the Cate Ty Break It Down Instagram page. Shoot us a message. I would love to know like how things are going, if there is any
or if you want us to like speak on anything, other details, we will.
Yeah, but please, definitely, if you hear this, like reach out. Because I would love to know, kind of what's going on or an update if things have changed or, so.
I feel bad. I feel like I'm kind of concerned a little bit.
Yeah, it is
because I
sad.
feel like how many more women specifically are sitting there at home feeling like this, dude?
That's sad.
This is fucked up.
And as women, come on now, we are all badass bitches. Stand up and use your fucking voice. Like, I'm going to scream it from the rooftop. With my girls, I'm going to be like, don't you ever. You call shit out as you fucking see it. Like, do not.
And I don't know. I always tell Nova, though, it's always fun because I'm always like, listen, your body can grow organs, grow bones, grow cells, create human beings, and then deliver those human beings into the world and then keep them alive from your body.
Right.
I'm like, there is no other powerful thing that a human can do.
But a woman.
So please understand that you are... Dude,
oh, believe me, she knows because she repeats it to me all the time. Yeah.
No, I heard her. We were at the beach or something like that, and she was like... And some boy, they were playing, and he was like, boys are stronger than girls. And she's like, you're a liar. And he was like, no, I'm not. And she said, we grow bones. We grow bodies and then deliver them. I guarantee you that I'm stronger than you. And I'm just like, yeah.
Well, no, because, the other day, too, she said something about... she's like, Mom, isn't it crazy that women, like, we create an organ? And she goes, and then we just get rid of it.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know. Yeah, so believe me, she listens to everything we say, and she's very...
I think that's why she always wants to talk to me. She's like, Dad.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm
she
like,
loves it.
I break it down. I break it down for Nova.
Yeah, but...
And hopefully she, like, will... When Beta... Because I think when Beta gets older, I'll say, Beta, go ask your older sister. And I have faith, knowing that I taught Nova certain things, that she will tell Beta.
Yeah, because Beta's just starting to get the age where she's asking certain questions, just like how Nova did. They start getting older, asking questions, and you have to answer them to an age and appropriate level. And
just the other day, Veda said, why don't boys have babies in their belly? I'm like, well, they don't have a uterus.
Right.
And she's like, a uterus?
Right.
I'm like, a uterus is the...
Right,
you know what I mean?
Baby.
That's where the baby grows. And you tell it. And then she was over it, though. So at that age, they kind of ask. But I'm not going to say, boys don't have the right belly for it. I'm not saying... I'm like, boys don't have a uterus.
Right, and then you describe... the real...
And she said, what's a uterus? I said, it's pretty much a little home, a little space that babies grow in.
Right.
And that keeps them alive and safe.
Yep,
and then she was like, oh, and then she ran off.
Kids are like that. That's like, what was it? Like, I think like a month ago, not even a month ago, a couple weeks ago, Nova asked me, like, we were in the kitchen, and she was like, Mom... she's like, so when you have babies, she's like, do boys stick their nuts into the vagina? And like we're very open with our kids and we let them drive conversations. Like Nova knows what sex is and stuff. But she really thought, like, she was like, don't they stick their balls in the vagina? And in her mind, she was like, that's where the sperm is. So that's what you would put up in there. And I said, no. I'm like, actually, I said, you know, you put the penis in the vagina. And she was like, what?
And then her face was like, what the?
She's like, that's gross. I said, I know. I said, but it's because the balls hold the sperm, yes, but the penis shoots the sperm into the vagina. And she's like, well, how do you get it up there? And I was like, well, you kind of got to do things to make it firm. And she was just like, ew. She's like, I'm never having sex. And I'm like, that's right. You know, good for you.
Yeah, I'm like, absolutely. And I think it's funny because even when she says it, though, I'm like, listen, your thoughts, you may change.
Yeah.
I said, I know it's really gross right now, but it comes to a point where it might change, and that's also okay.
Right. And people might hate on us. They do hate on us. But the thing is like we have, no, but not in front of them. They asked the questions. Like when a few years ago, Nova just thought it was mating. And she was the one who was like, oh, it's mating. And me and Ty were like, yes, that's what it is. And it clicked for her for a while.
Couple years.
You know? We've always just let her drive the conversation. And we've always been honest. Our children are taught from a very young age that it's a penis and a vagina. It's not a
dilly dally in a
hoo-ha, you know, or your vajayjay. Like we make sure they use the scientific terms, all of that, because God forbid anything were to happen, my kids would know and say, hey, Johnny stuck his penis in my vagina.
Right.
Or so-and-so touched my vagina. Yeah. Like, you know, so I want them to be aware of it scientifically. And our kids just have always drove the conversations. And I feel like, and I also do feel like if you're talking to your kids from a young age about sex and things like that, like obviously Nova was comfortable enough to come up to me and ask me, do you shove balls in a vagina?
And when you think about it, though, her thought process, pretty legit.
Yeah.
She knows that's where sperm is. No, I know, of course. But when you think about it, like, oh, it makes sense. The sperm's here, so we shove that in there.
Right, because she even said that. She even said that. I think it's important because it just goes to show, like, if you're slowly having the conversation when they're little, then it just becomes comfortable. It does. So that way, when she is 18 or 19 or 17 and she's feeling the urges to want to have sex, I'm confident she'll come and talk to me about it. And that's what matters. You know?
It is, yeah. The safety. You need to feel safe to talk to somebody about it.
But
no shame.
So thanks, guys, for... First of all, I want to say thank you to the people that were vulnerable enough to write to us and ask us questions.
Thank you.
I'm really sorry about what you're going through. I hope you have a support system you can lean on. And also, thanks for listening to this week's episode. Please go like, share, subscribe, rate, and review Cate and Ty Break It Down. And remember, you can listen to our podcast anywhere that you find podcasts.
Spotify, Apple, all the good stuff.
And then also to make sure that, we always drop our full video episodes on Patreon a few days after the audio drops. So go check out our Patreon page if you're a person that just likes to watch podcasts instead of listening.
A lot of people do, I realize.
So we do have the Patreon also, and we'll be talking to you guys next week.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.